Please.
Mr. Bowman. Here. Mr. Pettis. Mr. Dawson. Ms. Downs. Mr. Gutierrez. Here. Mr. Kurtz.
Here.
Mr. Natale.
Here.
Mr. Strollo. Mr. Selma. Here. Mr. Haffey. Here. Ms. Blake. Here. Mr. Hilton. We have a quorum.
Okay. Will the commission and public please join me in the pledge of allegiance?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, first order of business tonight is the approval of the minutes from December 9th, 2024, public hearing and regular meeting. Can I get a motion, please? Motion by Mr. Mercado, second by Mr. Dawson. Discussion, corrections, anything on the motion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Anyone abstaining? Motion carries unanimously. Any communications come before us tonight?
Yes, you have a memo dated January 9th from me. This is a follow-up from our POCD meeting. Members asked for what's required in state statute for part of the POCD and what's optional. So this memo, it's about 4 pages, goes through the first half of 823, identifying the 12 areas which are mandated, along with, and further goes into detail on these areas. And then lastly, on the, starts on the 3rd page and goes on to the 4th page, it's the areas you may, the last page is the areas where you may get added in. It's not mandatory. The first half of that memo is mandatory. So, just a follow-up, that's all.
Okay, no unfinished business, right?
Nope.
Okay, under new business, application for site plan approval on behalf of JRH LLC. Everyone had it in their packet. Let's see, we have someone here to represent them. The floor is yours, sir.
Good evening. Austin Dowd with SLR Consulting out of the Cheshire, Connecticut office. Here on behalf of Black's Outdoor Road Outdoor Storage Park. This is the expansion of the existing self-storage facility via one building on the eastern portion of the site and a outdoor storage park on the western half of the site. The western half of the site is currently disturbed via a previous permit for earth removal. A majority, if not all of that activity is completed, and we are here for the second half of that project, pretty much. The site is currently zoned as I-2 now, and all surrounding properties are zoned I-2. The whole project site is within the aquifer protection area for the North Cheshire well field. We did communicate with RWA for the project and their concerns, and they did submit a comment letter to town staff that had relatively minor comments, and we should be easily address those comments via minor plan changes. We did also receive comments from the fire department and the Cheshire Engineering Department. Engineering had no comments, and the fire department had, once again, very manageable comments that could easily be addressed. The stormwater approach for the site is pretty minimal, given the site conditions. It's sand and more sand. Soil testing was done on site. We found a very high infiltration rate. So there is one proposed infiltration basin that will accommodate all the storm drainage for the expansion, and that will connect into the existing storm management facility that is on site, which is also another infiltration basin and has a hydrodynamic separator too. So there is a significant reduction in flow to both analysis points, which are Black's Road and the existing basin on site. There are no utilities proposed for the expansion in the outdoor storage park besides electricity for cameras and site lighting for, just to illuminate. Past that, there's no expansion of public water or the existing septic on site. The application is relatively straightforward, so I will keep it pretty short and sweet if there are any questions.
Okay, questions, Mr. Picado?
For electricity, there's no place where someone can plug in an extension cord because they need a battery charger to start something that sat for a long period of time or anything like that?
Not at this point, but that could be something that we look into.
You bring jumper box too.
Yeah.
There is an existing office on site for the self-storage facility, which I'm sure could accommodate a battery charger or something.
Is it the same business, like you're just adding on to, it's part of Blacks Road Storage, nothing new, it's just an addition to?
It's outdoor
Yeah.
storage.
The only question I had on that, Mike, was in your write-up, you said in addition to the outdoor storage area, one building is being proposed to be added?
Yeah, there's the little gray box right here in the lower right-hand corner.
Is that just another storage place?
Yes,
Correct.
Just like the others?
yes.
Yep. And they meet all your regulations, and they went above and beyond by adding some landscaping along the northern property, so the frontage of Blacks Road, and then they also added some screening in the back.
Farmland. Farmland. That is zoned I-2.
It's industrially zoned property.
Any other questions? Everybody comfortable having a motion and voting on it tonight? Can we hear the motion? Have you even heard it yet?
You got it, you didn't write it.
He's got to read it, no?
I'll read it.
For the record.
For the record.
He
Motion
wrote it,
to
let
approve
him-
Application for site plan approval on behalf of JRH LLC, applicant Ryan McAvoy, agent. Applicants requesting site plan approval per section 30.59 and 3060A of the zoning regulations for self-storage and storage yard located at 225 and 243 Blacks Road, Assessors Map 19, Lot 53, Assessors Map 29, Lot 2, Zone I-2. The commission finds, based on the presentation and documents provided, the applicant has demonstrated compliance with the Cheshire zoning regulations. The approval is based on plans titled Blacks Road Outdoor Storage Park, prepared by SLR with a revision date of December 11th, 2024. The approval is subject to the following conditions. 1, approve emergency key boxes to be installed at locations to be determined by the fire chief or his designee. 2, fire department approve automatic slide gate override to be provided and maintained.
Moved by Mr. Bowman, seconded by Mr. Kaderis. Any discussion on the motion? All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Anyone abstaining? Motion carries unanimously. Congratulations. All right, number 2, application site plan approval on behalf of Daniel Hartog, requesting.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone.
No, we're nice, don't worry. Reservation only supper club located at 36 Wallingford Road.
So
Just need your name and address for the record.
Danielle Hartog, 175 Nob Hill Road, Cheshire, Connecticut.
Okay.
Daniel, do you want to just describe your business first, and then I'll talk
Sure.
about the regulations?
Hello, everyone. I'm Danielle. For those who don't know me, I'm chef and owner of New Brook Kitchen, currently located at the Watch Factory. I am a reservation-only supper club where we include about 30 to 40 diners once or twice a week for a 6-course chef's tasting dinner. Otherwise, I do cooking classes, public and private. So it's a very unique, homey type of experience. Is that good?
Yeah, that's fine. And then up above that's the floor plan, which is basically, they're utilizing over here, Barton Grippy's, the former law office, which previously was a daycare before that. So from a parking standpoint, they have 9 spaces that's directly behind the building with access to both spaces behind Cheshire Sports, the town lot, and the Grange. They lease 2 ADA accessible spaces from the Grange. It's straightforward. It's a use. It's allowed in the zoning district. There's really no structural changes to this, no exterior expansions. So staff, it
We
meets
saw your
all your
report.
regs.
Yeah, and your staff report said
Yeah.
it was good.
Recommend approval.
Okay.
So that's two-story building, right?
Yes,
Is the restaurant just on the first
Just on the
floor?
first
floor. Just on the
What's
first
on the
floor.
second floor?
storage. Because my current space is spread out in the watch factory, I'm just gonna lift all the storage upstairs, so.
And then you have your two offices, which is your office
Correct,
upstairs.
yep. It's all just my use.
Do you have any sample menus?
Do you want some sample menus? I should have brought food. That was a rookie mistake on my part.
John, I already asked before you walked in
I
here.
know, I really dropped the ball here.
I've eaten there a couple times. It's
He
few
has.
times it's very good. My wife is a regular.
She's monthly.
Yeah.
I have a lot of monthly people. It's really cool.
Any other questions? Everybody comfortable with voting on this tonight? Hearing the motion? Sure.
No, so oddly enough, it's, my floor plan is shrinking, but I get to increase my bar size. So currently I have 8 people who sit at the chef's tasting counter, and when you reserve, you get to choose your exact seat. In this space, I'll have 16 seats at the bar, which is huge for me, and my kitchen will be bigger. So I'm going from like 37 max to 40 max.
And when she says bar, it's not like it's a bar you can go hang out at.
No,
You
it's, you're
sit at the
watching,
bar, yeah,
it's an open
and you get
kitchen, so
food.
you watch
and
all
it's
the
like,
food
yeah,
happening in
yeah.
front of you.
I think it's BYOB, right?
Yeah.
Any other questions? Okay, can we hear the motion, please?
Motion to approve application for site plan approval on behalf of Danielle Hartog applicant. Applicants requesting site plan approval for reservation-only supper club located at 36 Wallingford Road, Assessors Map 64, Lot 266, Zone C1. Commission finds based on the presentation and documents provided, the applicant has demonstrated compliance with the Cheshire zoning regulations. Approval is based on the plans provided and presented by the applicant.
Moved by Mr. Mercado, seconded by Mr. Dawson. Discussion on this motion. Seeing none. Yeah, it's,
Thank you. I'm really happy. I'm really, really happy.
all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Anyone abstaining? Motion carries. Congratulations.
Thank you.
When do you think you're gonna move?
So they have to wait until they leave that office. Theirs is almost done, and then we'll close on it, and then 4 to 6 months to build it out.
Cool. All right.
There's
Congrats.
the Emporium before too.
Yeah, I remember that.
I'm
I
gonna
remember
put
that.
original photos of the Emporium up. I already found
Nice.
digitals.
That was a long time ago.
Okay, so,
Mr. Chairman,
yes, Mr. Bowman.
I'd like to make a motion to add the election of officers onto our regular meeting agenda.
Motion by Mr. Bowman, do we have a second? Second by Mr. Mercado. Any discussion? All those, the only reason why it's put on is because it wasn't put on before, and someone reminded me today, and I reminded Mr. Glidden that we didn't do it. That's why we're having to put it on at the last minute. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. With that, I will entertain a motion for,
I'd like to make a motion to take care of all 3 positions at once. Mr. Kurtz for chairman, Mr. Natale for vice chairman, and Mr. Mercado for secretary.
we have a motion, do we have a second?
Is there any
Mr.
other
Bowman.
nominate? Do we have to ask for the nominations?
I need a second first. We have a
Woody
second?
seconded. Yeah, Woody.
Yeah, Woody, Mr. Dawson seconded. Are there any other nominations? Are there any other nominations? Are there any other nominations?
Move to close nominations.
Second.
Moved and second, moved by Mr. Bowman, seconded by Mr. Caderas. All those in favor of the any discussion on the motion? So none. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Anyone abstaining? And for the record, the 2 alternates they're not part of this vote, so the motion carries 7-0 unanimously. And we are going to look forward into why this has to be done by we'll see if it's in our bylaws or not, why it has to be done by the Planning and Zoning Commission. And as far as, to my knowledge, none of the other elected bodies do this as a yearly thing. It's usually every 2 years, every election
So I'll
cycle.
check your bylaws and for the next meeting. If it's in your bylaws that you have an annual election for officers, then we just continue. If it's
Yep.
not, then it's the discretion of the commission.
Okay.
Well, the town charter obviously must allow it because the Board of Ed and the town council certainly,
I've never understood it and never got an answer why we do it.
all the other boards that I've sat on do it annually.
You could
do.
do that, too.
But not elected.
So we're the only elected body that I know
Yeah.
of that does this annually,
exactly.
not every election cycle.
And the other thing, too, is if your bylaws say you're supposed to have annual election of officers, you always have that option to change your bylaws. And then you could.
True.
You know, say that the officers serve at the pleasure of the commission unless someone's not reelected, or the commission says it's time for a change and wants to vote out the people who are in charge, that they can do that.
Cool. All right, anything else to come before the commission tonight?
No, I have nothing else, but our next meeting in 2 weeks, right now, at this point, we're just going to have an executive session for strategizing with the attorney.
No regular
regarding-
meeting, there's nothing on the-
Nothing else on your
Okay.
agenda. Oh, yes, we need to have a conversation. So,
Is
we'll
it,
be- but we're going to be
downstairs?
downstairs in 207, because
Okay.
we're going to be in executive session, it will not be televised, and no recording, et cetera.
Not
Gotcha.
open to the public?
No,
No, once we go into executive session, it's just staff and the commission. And then anything discussed is not to be discussed outside of that meeting, because it's legal strategy.
all right. Anything else? No, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved. Second.
Moved by Mr. Salmon, seconded by Mr. Kaderis. All those in favor? Aye.